against former Abia governor and now new chief whip of the Senate, Orji Uzor is still on. We watch and wait. Paul.
Well, I don't know. My feeling here is somewhat ambivalent. On one hand, I'm very happy that 30 billion naira has been recovered, and it's fine if the FCC is doing all of this. On the other hand, I'm not so happy. I'm worried that there is too much of easy money within the system. People can freely just siphon funds by reason of the office they hold. We're talking about 30 billion, and not 30,000 naira. Not
Paul, a billion naira is a million in 1,000 places. So we know what you are talking about.
Yes, yes. So it's become so easy for people to steal money. So if the EFCC is saying that, well, it's independent, I hope it's truly independent, because well, gone are the days when I hope truly that those days are gone, when there was this power tussle between the AGF and the Attorney General of the Federation and the EFCC chairman. We still remember what ostensibly led to the house staff.
Does the EFCC boss report to the Minister of Justice?
Yes. However, the EFCC boss should be independent enough to carry out the investigation. I mean, you shouldn't micromanage. The fact that he reports to the Minister of Justice or Attorney General does not mean that he should be micromanaged. He is there to do his job. He is not supposed to be at the mercy of the whims and caprices of the AGF. So I hope he's truly independent. But one thing that also worries me is that, you know, it's not enough to say we've recovered. They've recovered that money. How tight has the EFCC prepared its case in court? Because, you know, you can arraign a suspect, you can arrest a suspect, you can say you seize funds and all of that. But we want to see those suspects, when they are defendants, when they take them to court, we want to see them become convicts. If truly there's a case against them. We don't want the judge, the court to throw out cases because of lack of diligent prosecution or evidence not being tight and all of that.
No, we have seen some prima facie cases lost by the FCC.
That's the issue.
Emeka, Nigerians are not a hard people to please. They are not fastidious. But do you blame them for being, what do you call them now, for being too suspicious of the EFCC, especially at a time like this? And for that matter, are you inebriated with a story about Orji Uzor?
Well, okay, let me just quickly answer that of Orji Uzor. I mean, I hope the FCC is not trying to run itself into double jeopardy. I mean, so trying to subject Orji Uzor to double jeopardy, because I think that's a principle in law that you cannot, I mean, since the prosecution didn't go diligently according to the court, it was struck out due to one or two defects. So, still talking about arraigning him. We'll watch and see what they are going to do.
Yeah. Then,
you see, corruption is the biggest threat to this nation.
It is.
The way people easily have access to public funds.
Free money.
No, it's not free, because this money belongs to the people
I
of
use
the
the
Federal
word
Republic of Nigeria.
Free money. When you see viral videos, whether or not they are true, you wonder how those monies got there.
No, when you say free money, it's like what some companies do: buy one, get one free. Take some drinks, and then if you can find one number or one alphabet, you have a crate or something. That is free. But money belonging to the people cannot be said to be free, because this is money that ought to go to projects. Every year we have a budget.
Emeka, don't be enraged because I use the word free. Hold on. Before we came on, Paul was there. I said, in Japan, don't let the state get to you. Commit harakiri. In China, you are killed outright. But in Nigeria, no, sir.
You see, we must find a way. So many people have said all kinds of things about tackling corruption. But we must get to the root of all of this. We must do something drastic about it, because the nation is sinking. Every year, we have budgets. This federal government, state government, local governments present budgets. But the implementation of this budget doesn't go beyond 30% at the best. Now, the remaining 70% is money belonging to Nigerians. That's why I say it's not free, because this is money that should go into providing various services. We talk of insecurity. Is it not because the money that should be used to buy weapons, equip the police, equip the military, civil defense and all that, it's in the pockets of people, and we're talking of insecurity as if it's someone phantom.
Emeka,
meanwhile,
those monies are in their pockets freely. Go on.
Freely because the system is rigged in such a way
that checkmate them.
That we can have successive accountants general stealing billions of naira. Well, you see, when we talk about corruption, let us address it. Is it stealing? Is it stealing? Because when we say corruption, it's just one very fancy word. One very fancy word. No. Let's break it down to stealing. Because when you put your hand to the public till, I mean, just like going to somebody's farm and you are caught in somebody's farm.
Yeah.
In this case, is the public farm, the farm belonging to Nigerians. You are caught there, maybe uprooting a tuber of yam or stealing stealing corn. In this case, because you are the Accountant General of the Federation, you have easy access to funds, you can rig the system, you can tamper with IPPIS, which was one of the reasons for which ASU went on strike for 8 months, and there is no drastic punishment. You see, we should stop deceiving ourselves in this country. One of the problems we have is that if somebody is caught, his or her kinsman will come and say, no, yes, we know he's a thief, but your own brother is a bigger thief than mine. One thing we should know is this: all of those things affect us as a people. Whether it's my kinsman or it's your kinsman or the kinsman of anybody, it affects all of us. So we must find a way to put an end, or at least bring down this stealing. So this man, 30 billion out of 109 billion. Yeah. There was even a report that said it was up to 200 billion. Look at the facility he built in his state for agricultural purposes. A serving officer using public funds to decorate his hometown. You see, perhaps we need to get to the point where we have special courts, and maybe stealing, not corruption, stealing should be punishable by death sentence or life imprisonment.
Paul, you know, what's heartbreaking here is the laws are there to nail these people by. So where is the problem? The will. That's just because you have talked about it, says the will. But I love what the maker said. Let's break it down to stealing. I mean, the man, that public office holder who operates from a well-conditioned office and serve coffee every morning, but takes diverse public fund into his private pocket, it's not different from a copper burglar. You know, that one who scales your fence, where you are not at, and breaks through your window and steals your iPhone or phone. You understand? I mean, if you catch that kind of, if you catch who does that
at a bus stop,
somebody
will
be beating black and blue, will be killed, will
be killed.
The truth of the matter is that man, that minister, that public office holder who steals billions, it's the same spirit. That in fact, that one is worse. But what do? We decorate them, we praise them, we call them, sometimes we invite them to programs. Yeah. They give what's it called? Awards, lectures and all of that. We even give them awards. You talk about the laws. The laws are there. The problem we have in this country is not that we don't have laws. Yes, the laws could be made better, but what have we done with those we have? We keep hearing of people stealing money, billions and billions and billions. It has become part of our life. Corruption, I say it, corruption is probably the biggest institution. I don't want to go into the polemics of whether stealing is corruption, corruption is stealing. If you dip your hand into the public till, you should pay for it because the laws, part of the problem is also the law. Okay. You charge these people with money laundering, which is 7 years. It's just like saying if you spray naira notes, you go to jail.
if I'm a rich man, I can spray naira notes 100 times. It is 6 months imprisonment with an option of fine of 50,000 naira.
Let's even apply the
So what you do is that you even make committing the crime attractive.
All right, please let's quickly talk with Afolabi. He's reaching us from Songo in Ogun State. Afolabi, I greet you. Welcome. Afolabi, are you there? Wow. We lost the contact to him. So
well, what I'm saying is that you make crime attractive by the kind of punishment you attach to that offense. Money laundering, 7 years. So EFCC will just multiply the counts. Along the line, they will reduce the counts or increase the counts and just be wasting the time of the court. Why not in the law put it clearly, whether it is stealing, whether it is whatever, life imprisonment. And then make it a shorter route, a short route, a quick route that if for so and so offenses defined this way or defined this way, the minimum punishment you can get away with is 15 years in jail. So when you do that and people are sent to jail, it makes it easy. Okay, a senator was convicted and quickly taken to jail, but you still have governors who have been on trial since 2003. What are we talking about? So is it because this senator is not well connected?
For me, even if you make it life imprisonment and you make it whatever death sentence, the truth is if we are not serious about investigating and prosecuting, it's still going to be the same situation. That's the truth of the matter.
But Paul, you remember a little story I shared with you earlier on outside before we came on. I said at Ojota here, not too far from us here, there are 2 foot bridges within 150 meters of each other. People still keep getting killed between them. But it doesn't stop God. It is about the choices we make.
Exactly.
That's all.
No, you know the thing is this. There's corruption all over the world.
Yes.
Even in the advanced countries, United States, UK. I will say it clear that they're also a part of the problem. They're a part of the problem because
who are these?
I'm talking of the developed nations, the Western nations.
Okay.
The receiver of stolen goods is as guilty as the thief. The Abacha loot should have taught us a lesson. There were a lot of papers that came out of the Abacha loot experience. But how come it is that these Western nations still receive money from our politicians? Then something is wrong somewhere. They should also check themselves.
Emeka, I hope you won't go to court here. All right. Government is listening to us. This whole thing is about the choices we make as a people, as a polity. EFCC, I wish you Godspeed. And EFCC boss, you can do more than you're doing. We wish you well. All right, to our next story. You know, a second Niger bridge appeared to be a paper tiger, but now it's reality. President Muhammadu Buhari ordered the inauguration of the bridge by midnight on Thursday, that's yesterday. Minister of Works Babatunde Fashola, SAN, disclosed that the bridge was envisioned to save lives and alleviate poverty occasioned by waste of man-hours resulting from gridlock on the first bridge. Barring a nightmare from the so-called unknown gunmen, it should be a Merry Christmas for revelers and homecoming townsfolks this Christmas. Emeka, right? Wrong?
Well, in fairness to them, I want to commend the Buhari administration for at least bringing to realization this bridge. But I would like to say that the comments of the minister, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, were somehow, I think he was just playing on words, because he said that time lost in traffic results in multidimensional poverty. We thank him. But I want to ask him a question. The road flows from Delta State into Obosi in Anambra State. So you can turn left to Onitsha. When you go down some kilometers, you'll find some huge craters around Tazan, Onitsha-Owerri Road. If you turn right towards Owerri, you get to Ngbidi. It's a terrible situation. Traffic, people stay in traffic for hours on all those places. why not also? I thought he would have fixed that Onitsha-Owerri road because of the yield tide. So when you are trying to ease the flow of traffic across the Niger Bridge,
don't create another one.
Yes, it should not be that, okay, people blow over the second Niger Bridge quickly, and then they get to Ngbidi. All the time they thought they had saved is wasted.
Yeah.
So these are the things they need to, when we keep talking about the state of federal roads in the Southeast, it's part of it. Look into these things. The youth tide is here. I was disappointed that nothing was done to at least make this, even if it's palliative action on these federal roads.
Yeah, yeah.
We deserve it because the traffic at this time will be huge. So there's still time for them to do something. That around that Tazan Junction at Onitsha, and then around Okpoko Junction, Ngbidi, and some other places, something can still be done.
So Paul, it's not yet Uhuru, but we're saying it can be better.
Yes, it's not yet Uhuru, but we should still appreciate them for what they have done without undermining the concerns raised by Makeup. Yeah, they are genuine concerns.
Are you enamored of the warning by the federal government over speeding and all that?
Well, of course, it's normal for them to talk about overspeeding, to want people not to overspeed and all of that. But for me, that should not be what should worry us. The vehicular density that would be on that road is a potential invitation to bandit attacks. I hope security will be put in place. Because sometimes when you put up infrastructure and then a blessing becomes a curse, I can't forget the train from the rail track from Abuja to Kaduna. When it was not there were no attacks along that. Of course, there was no rail track, there was no rail, of course. But when the train started functioning, there were attacks. Before that major one that got everybody, very sad, and because of kidnapping, there were attacks. There was an attack carried out at Rigasa, and then we were caught napping, and we didn't do anything. Now they are talking about putting up security, surveillance, and all of that. I hope that this kind of thing will also be done with that bridge. It is not when we've heard of it may seem like I'm pessimistic, but once beaten, twice shy. In fact, we have been beaten several times over. I mean, I don't know how many times we have been beaten. What I mean is that there have been serious criminal bandit attacks in the Southeast. Now, so there's nothing reassuring here that, okay, you have built a bridge. Has that stopped, would that automatically stop unknown gunmen, so-called unknown gunmen, from operating? So there must be security security put in place, because a lot of people will be traveling. Many people will abandon the old Niger Bridge.
No, they can't, because the way it is, the old bridge runs into Onitsha. The new bridge is outside Onitsha. It runs into Obosi. So if you are going to Enugu or Ebonyi, you don't need to go through the second Niger Bridge, because the second Niger Bridge takes you towards Imo, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, and all of that. But this other one, and then the trucks will also be on that. On the existing.
And there are Asaba people doing business in Onitsha, so they need the old bridge.
Both the old bridge and the new bridge. Let me tell you one interesting thing. You see, some of these developments, that's why it's good for government to always do things consciously to boost development. I want to tell you that some of these projects have actually boosted property values in some of these places. You see, look at Asaba. Property is lucrative in Asaba.
Yeah.
Look at Ibuzo, through which the approach passes. You will see that it will boost property values in Ibuzo. And going into Obosi too, it will, all those areas. But you see, government
Obosi, Atani and all that.
All those, Ogbaro and the rest of them. But there is something people have been talking about, the height of the bridge, that it might affect it might hinder the marine traffic to Onitsha River Port. It's after the existing bridge. People have been talking about it. Well, but I do know that the MD of the National Inland Waterways Authority, Chief Judge Morgan, who is also from Anambra State, has been trying to get that river port working. So I want to, and then going up to Lokoja and all those other places in the north, I want to believe everything should be considered so that the investment put into, even though there's a toll bridge, people are also talking about that why would you toll this one and others, Lagos Ibadan Express and others, but I know I've seen the federal government has said it will toll some of these roads. So what I want to believe is that whatever investment has been put into this bridge, everything should be considered to make it a project for all.
Okay. So the second Niger bridge has been commissioned. It's okay. Government reminds you and I about overspeeding. Safe journey. Merry Christmas. To our next story now. You know, our strong liking for not punishing bad behavior appears to be haunting us. The Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, has disclosed that it has arrested non-Nigerians for being in possession of the permanent voter cards, PVCs. Kaduna State authorities of the service have arrested several foreigners in this connection. The service warns the foreigners to steer clear of messing with our electoral process. Wait a minute. Were the PVCs not processed and given to the foreigners by Nigerian officials? If we are ridiculous with serious things, won't we be serious with ridiculous things? Let's share this story with you before we discuss it.
2023 general elections approach. Security agencies are intensifying measures to ensure that the process is smooth and transparent throughout the nation. And great success has been achieved in this regard. In Kaduna State, authorities of the Immigration Service say over the past 2 weeks, they have arrested several foreigners in the state who were in possession of permanent voter cards. The operatives also discovered that some of these foreigners had other critical national documents.
Okay, the operations was initiated because the 2023 general election is just around the corner. We were able to retrieve a lot of voters' cards, national identification cards, and even local government indigent forms from those that are not Nigerians. Mostly these non-Nigerians are from neighboring countries, Niger, Cameroon, Chad.
The Kaduna immigration chief explained that foreigners with legal documents are welcome into the country, but he insists that such people do not have the right to vote or participate in any national electoral process.
Once you have the voter's card, it means you have a license to participate in 2023 election. The Nigerian Immigration Service, especially in this command, we are not relenting. We are not relenting. We keep getting to the root of this non-Nigerians trying to parade themselves, trying to peg themselves as Nigerians and illegally owning these electoral materials, which by law they are not eligible to have them. The process is a very dubious process, and we are going to actually step on their toes.
Offenders, he said, will be dealt with according to extant laws, and the service is determined to intensify search and surveillance operations to ensure a free and fair electoral process come 2023. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
The ministry collaborates with several stakeholders, and in getting Mr. President to sign an executive order, the one on ease of doing business, we actively participated in that. We also work with the CBN on the automation of the Nigerian export processing form and the TRMS, and the ministry also coordinates and works with the central bank on banking and financial institutions and establish the relationships between, so we're the link between the state and the banking system. The ministry also has enabled the Nigerian Export-Import Bank to grow by expanding its share capital so that it is able to provide more financing for the export sector of our country.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
دي جمعية الأنصار الدين التجانية under the leadership of His Spiritual Eminence Sheikh Muhammad Mahi Ibrahim Inyas, Grand Khalifa Tijaniya Worldwide, announces the celebration of the 5th Nigeria World Maulid Anniversary in honor of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with the theme, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, an epitome of religion and governance. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Alhaji Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Chairman of the occasion, His Royal Highness Alhaji Yahya Abubakar, the Ethiopia and Chairman, Niger State Council of Chiefs. Chief host, His Excellency Abubakar Sani Bello, Executive Governor of Niger State. Date, 23rd Jamada Thani 1444 after the Hijrah, equivalent to December 17, 2022. Venue, in the Polo Club Complex, Niger State. Announcer, Sheikh Muhammad Nafi Umina for the local organizing committee.
Agriculture is all about business as well as food production. There is tremendous amount of resources, which is the land. We have the geopolitical, ecological zones that you can plant anything, any time of the year. So we are building these incubation centers across the country to train youth and women in the business of agriculture.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced the introduction of a new series of 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes to be launched on December 15, 2022. These new banknotes will circulate side by side with the current 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes, which will cease to be legal tender on January 31, 2023. Banks are now open from Monday to Saturday to accept customers' deposits. So, hurry to your banks to deposit only 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes in your possession. To make it seamless, the CBN has suspended bank charges on all deposits made during this period, and there is no limit on how much an individual can deposit. Remember, the current 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes remain legal tender until January 31, 2023. Do not reject it, but ensure the banknotes get to your bank before the deadline of January 31, 2023. This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
How important is comfort to you? Is it as important as the day you discovered that self-love is the start of good life? Here is a comfort that your self-love, Iderade. Transit into your serenity. The opportunity awaits you on this peace of mind as you pay in installments of 24 months with initial deposit of 500,000 Naira. Serenity at its finest.
All right, then we're still staying with the immigration service story. Paul, after listening to a report like that, so many questions come begging.
Honestly,
as they say, the street balance is trouble, no they finish.
Trouble, no they finish, but now we they cause the trouble.
Yeah.
Much of the trouble, we caused it for ourselves. You just have the feeling that Nigeria, everything has gone topsy-turvy in this country. Now, you're talking about people being issued, foreigners being issued PVCs. Why are they just discovering that now? Why? Why at this time are they just discovering it? Who issued them with the PVCs? Was it to a candidate's advantage? You know, you have to ask so many questions because it doesn't make sense. It looks like a farce, you know, a sick joke. That's the way it looks like. Suddenly, you are discovering that you have some questions. Said, were the PVCs not processed and given to these people by Nigerian officials? Who answers that question? If we are ridiculous with serious things, won't we be serious with ridiculous things? Who answers that question? So many questions begging for answers. I think that we are the ones, you know, it's just like you have built a house. then you pour petrol on it and you set it on fire yourself. You know, the other time he was saying that he was talking about foreigners receiving corrupt funds from Nigeria. And I thought to myself, I said, if we set our house in order, you know, those foreigners, the foreign countries won't take advantage of us. Our borders are very porous. A lot of people come in and blend with the population, and we are doing nothing about it. The same way people can come from Republic of Benin, Igbo-speaking people can come from Republic of Benin and blend with the Igbo-speaking people in Nigeria. You think that they are Nigerians. So why is it that at this time we are discovering this thing? Why is it that every time we just discover problems, we don't find ways to solve this problem, to prevent them from happening? Sometimes,
don't you think you want to believe the late Professor Chinua Achebe, who said there was a country?
There was a country. But it's like things are getting progressively worse because many people that are in public service, either as elected people or people who are in the civil service, top civil service, they don't love this country. They don't truly love this country. The enemies of this country are not just the bandits.
Oh, yeah.
There are bandits wielding pens, pen-wielding bandits.
That's it.
You know, they sit down and they decide the fate of this country.
Let me tease Emeka a little. Some 3-4 months ago, Emeka, the news broke that 2 civil servants in Abuja had between them over 360 plots and nothing. We haven't heard anything. Sometimes you wonder if journalists are not part of this wahala.
What would
following up a story to the end.
Oh, you're following up one. Another one is breaking. You're following up one. The ingenuity of some of these people, it's mind-boggling. The way they're able to, for instance, somebody amassing 360 plots. I think some of these people should be taken to the psychiatric hospital for mental evaluation.
Oh, yeah.
Because such a thing is not normal. I mean,
it's not normal.
It's not normal. Why would somebody go to that extent? Even if you live through 5 lifetimes, what are you going to do with?
When I hear the phrase, when I hear the phrase, primitive acquisition, I don't think the primitive people behave this way.
It's even worse than the primitive people. Were they acquiring lands? No, they were mainly hunter-gatherers, fighting, to survive.
Yeah.
They weren't really. It was later, as history progressed, and then people started building empires and all that people were fighting over territories. But the territories along the line also disintegrated.
So let's come back to the story.
This, as recently as November last month,
yeah,
the same immigration service said it had deported 90 foreigners that were found with PVCs in Oyo State. In 2016, the immigration service said it discovered foreigners, some of them married to Nigerians, with PVCs in Akwa Ibom State. The same immigration said...
Nobody was taken to court.
In fact, the immigration was even begging them that, okay, if you're a foreigner, even married to a Nigerian or not, please return the PVC so that we can take them to INEC, a law enforcement agency. You are begging offenders. I mean, the same thing all over the country. You're talking of Kaduna. Is this the first time it will be raised in Kaduna? It's not the first time. All over the... So it's a systematic erosion of the electoral process. And so on. Even of the electoral process. Democracy that was, hard won. People died in the course of fighting for the restoration of democracy. And then what do? We just pretend as if they didn't make sacrifice or nothing. It's business as usual. What is the business of a foreigner coming to vote in Nigeria? But also INEC. I remember INEC in 2019 when some officials of Niger Republic attended a rally, a political rally in Nigeria. INEC said there was nothing wrong with foreigners coming to. So if you say there's nothing wrong, of course, what do you expect?
Yeah.
They will extend it to going to get PVCs.
But Paul, if the National Assembly jettisoned something like diaspora voting, now we have foreigners bearing PVCs. What's the difference?
Exactly what I was thinking. You read my mind. I was saying that we have not dealt with diaspora voting, which is key. We should have done by now, because a lot of the Nigerians in diaspora, they send funds to Nigeria. you know, and
you don't reject those forms.
You don't give them the chance to vote. Meanwhile, foreigners who have no business voting,
some who don't even contribute to the economy,
they have PVC. I'm wondering whether these PVCs are part of the figure of those that were newly registered. You know, we're talking about a lot of
93 million.
So, which means we probably will register some of them. You know, who did this registration? Else must know. We must find out how this came about. We are rubbishing the electoral process. See, the truth of the matter is that whoever wins an election should actually be the wish. I mean, the outcome of the wish of the people. You know,
as a matter of fact, the next president has two major things to do: damage reduction and damage control. Don't you think so?
Well, that is...
Emeka, with this development, you think a sanitization process is in the offing?
We're talking of foreigners owning PVCs. We are still talking of underage voting. Children owning PVCs. And who causes all these things? In the Akwa Ibom case of 2016, some of the foreigners said that it was politicians who went to meet them, who went to meet foreigners and asked them to go and register for PVCs. I wonder what kind of name, in a place like Akwa Ibom, if somebody bearing maybe a Togolese name comes to register, is it that you won't know that this sounds Togolese? Or will the person just maybe use one anglicized name? Okay, where are you from in Akwa Ibom?
Ekiti.
And you just mentioned it, and that's all. So I think we must also try to sync the registrations we have in Nigeria, BVN, driver's license, NIN, voter registration. We must sync all these things into one. People have been calling for this thing. Sync it into one so that it will be easy to track some of these things. It will be very easy. Yeah. Then you deploy, if people cannot be trusted to do the right thing, then you deploy artificial intelligence. It's so easy. You profile people based on nationality. So it will be easy for you to do with artificial intelligence. You can zero in on people who, wait a minute, what kind of name is this? What's this person's background and all that? But when you have porous borders that people just walk in and walk out,
yeah.
What do you do?
All right, gentlemen, you are going to say.
Let me just support what he said. There are countries you get into. From the moment you step into that country, you are monitored, you are tracked. There's no hiding.
They say in their United States or their United Kingdom.
Exactly.
The moment you set foot.
Exactly.
They know that a poll is already.
Exactly. There's no hiding place for you. But in Nigeria, you can live here. You know, you could be a Togolese and you live as a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Until you die, and nobody will know that you are not. You are not a Nigerian. It's so bad.
All right. We have a country after 62 years of countryhood. It should go beyond an anthem and just celebrating the independence. Do we want a country we can truly call our own? I think we have a choice. All right, let's go to our next story. Shagun is reaching us from K2.
Yes, good evening.
Shagun, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I think I want to make a contribution to the topic you are talking about.
Yeah.
About these foreigners and documentation of somebody being identified as a Nigerian. I think we have sent a memo to the government about the registration of Nigerians for NIN and national ID card. How do we actually, if people are just going in, give you a name, like the other man was saying, which place from in Akwa Ibom, you will say this place, and that's all. This things need to be verified.
Thank you, Shagun.
They should give this document for people.
Shagun, many thanks. Many thanks for your intervention. Gentlemen, what more can we say? It's about the choice we make as a people, as a country. We have a choice from this moment.
Yeah, that
yes,
is
we
correct.
do.
That's correct.
We do have a choice. We do have, but we keep making bad choices. I just hope one day we'll be able to lift our head
And blaming others.
Yes.
I'll keep blaming others.
Yes,
For the
finger
bad
pointing
choices we
instead
make,
of us to take responsibility.
All right.
For our failures. But we keep pointing fingers at other people. We can't continue like this. Is not the country we want to leave to our children or children's children.
Let us make some money. We go on a commercial break. We'll be back. Please stay with us.
Our country one better. Nigeria one better. Our country one better. Nigeria one better. Who go do one for us? Papa Tokambo, Mama Tokambo, for a better Nigeria. Good life unko. Now you we want to. Now you we need oh.
Yes, so people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better when one shell for we country. So as they ready to vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the next president of Nigeria, our people don't look the matter well. Say na only Bola Tinubu don't do what everybody fit see. Now him get the experience where he go fit use take make our country better, make life sweet for we and our picking them. Bola Tinubu don't gather better plan to chase down war for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace for all we country people of Nigeria. But these and many other better things when in don't vocalize, it good make we all vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashif Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party where show broom.
Now you we need oh.
This place will have a recreational park that is designed to make life comfortable. Wellness is key, and we're putting this place that will help people to, keep up on their health where they could burn their fat. And the timeline for this project is estimated to start and end within 18 months. But however, it starts in phases. The first phase is to get this place secured and gated, which is done.
Mowe is a growing city, and if you are very, very smart, then you realize that the Lagos-Ibadan expressway that is being developed is going to throw Mowe open furthermore.
People that have gone ahead of us have great investment here. And even way in the 90s, even before we talked about coming here. So I think it's a good idea, Iderade coming here.
Everyone has a Chivita this season. What's your Chivita?
The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced the introduction of a new series of 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes to be launched on December 15, 2022. These new banknotes will circulate side by side with the current 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes, which will cease to be legal tender on January 31, 2023. Banks are now open from Monday to Saturday to accept customers' deposits. So, hurry to your banks to deposit only 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes in your possession. To make it seamless, the CBN has suspended bank charges on all deposits made during this period, and there is no limit on how much an individual can deposit. Remember, the current 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira banknotes remain legal tender until January 31, 2023. Do not reject it, but ensure the banknotes get to your bank before the deadline of January 31, 2023. This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
All right, folks, let's go to our last story. Attention on the nationwide fuel shortage shifts to Ogun State, where the state chapter of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has berated the Department of State Services, DSS, over a threat to clamp down on its members following fuel scarcity in the country. The association threatens to shut down all its outlets across the state if the security agency goes ahead with its clampdown. The ultimatum issued last week to NNPCL and oil marketers to end fuel crisis has lapsed with no serious consequences. If the DSS has backed enough, Emeka, should it not begin to bite? Or shall we say Nigerians are used to the hard life?
No, can anybody be used to the hard life? That's why we have.
I'm asking.
That's
sorry.
why we have civilization now.
Okay.
And then sophistication. Why should anybody be? What we just see, just wickedness and.
We talk about the horrible choices we are making.
Yeah, the refusal to do the right thing. We've been talking of money. There's the issue of money owed certain sectors, in the oil industry.
Yeah.
That has not been paid. Why hasn't that been addressed? We've been talking of pipelines that are routinely vandalized. Anytime you run products through them, they are vandalized. I think that is such things that the DSS should avert its mind to. Not threatening businessmen. Because when you threaten business people, these people borrow money from banks. A lot of these people work with credit facilities. And when they go through this fuel scarcity, it affects, negatively impacts on their businesses. So I think the DSS should advise the federal government, the presidency, to do something. Whatever the issues are in the supply chain, they should do something about it and ease this problem. There's some people have said that government should actually start implementing the regulation in phases. Well, the debate over oil subsidy keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Well, but I think the DSS really should not use threats. So that we're in a democracy. You don't just throw threats, especially at businesses, because you also give a wrong impression of your operating environment. We're talking of ease of doing business. And how can your ease of doing business also include threatening business people?
Yeah. I mean, Paul, it's more like in America, the FBI intervening in a situation like this, which you may not have there. Mm. But it's about the choices I talked about. Fuel supply, if it goes awry, there's a tendency for it to become a national emergency.
Yes. I think DSS is concerned about the security implications of long queues at fuel stations and all of that. But I do seriously think that threatening the oil marketers is not the way to go. The question is, why are the marketers selling it at these prices that all of us are complaining about, growing about? How have we thought about what it costs them to get the fuel from the tank farms, from the depots? Have we thought about why is it that the costs of getting the fuel, listing the fuel from the oil depot, why has it suddenly gone up? Who are the people behind it? Those are the things we should be fixing. Normally, if the cost in any business, if the cost of doing the business is high, definitely the product, you will get it at a higher price. It's normal. It's normal. If it was costing me 5 naira to produce this year and that cost me 10 naira, you don't expect me to sell it at the same price. Yeah. So that's what is really happening. I think people are taking Nigerians for granted. For me, DSS is just grandstanding.
Yeah. Paul, don't you see a conspiracy here? How come it is at a time like this?
That's the question. The whole thing is
become a recurring decimal now towards the Yuletide.
Yeah.
It's not. It shouldn't happen. And it's terrible because this time many people are going to be traveling for the Yuletide.
I understand from Lagos to I think is it not 20,000
already? Yes, and
by next week
it will soar. The cost will still go higher. Why is it that we are deliberately impoverishing Nigerians? We are making lives difficult for ourselves. This is the time that we should even, increase the supply of petrol, and things should be made very comfortable for
and Emeka, one would have thought that if the #1 citizen is the Minister of Petroleum Resources, things like this should be behind us.
Yes, but you see, that's why also.
Or am I missing something here?
No. That's why also in a system you expect the delegated responsibility. Yes, he's the Minister of Petroleum, but there's an MD of NNPC. There are MDs of the various agencies or privatized companies, if you will, in charge of these sectors. What are they doing? What are they doing? Why is it? NNPC is the sole importer of fuel right now, and it cannot import fuel. Then why is government still giving NNPC that monopoly In a diversified economy, you don't encourage monopolies. It is one of the problems we have in this nation. You don't encourage monopolies. If NNPC has shown that it cannot meet with the demand for fuel, then open
Emeka, you would have thought that the NNPC has gone public. It is now NNPCL. So it should, things like this should be behind
Well,
it.
the L can mean many things. It might mean limited, it might mean laggard, it might mean... It might even mean nothing. Just
limited.
Just
limited.
Yes. No. What I'm talking about in terms of effectiveness.
Yeah.
It's not just about the name. The who does not make the monkey. It's not just about the name. Are you delivering services to the people? Are you delivering quality services to the people? The people are suffering. People need petrol. People need fuel to move from place to place. This is the Yuletide. This is the holiday period. Companies are shutting down business so that their staffers can go on holiday.
Yeah.
How do they move about? How do they travel? So it should not just be about what the name NNPC bears now, but how effective is it?
Yeah. All right, Paul. In those far off years, we used to talk about pouring oil on troubled waters. So what do you pour on troubled oil? I don't know.
Well, for me, I disagree that the president should not intervene. I disagree.
We must go.
Oh.
But not before saying a happy birthday to Janet Afolabi. Janet Mba Afolabi. She's our colleague. She's a year older today. Don't ask me how old she is, because me, I don't know.
I think the president will be 80 tomorrow also.
Oh, Janet should be 81.
Not the president.
Oh, come on, tell me something. So, Janet, a happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
From here to all of you, make the most of it. France, Argentina?
Well, I want France to win because
Argentina 2-1.
All right, we're out of here. Thank you very much. If you missed this show, join us at 11 later tonight for a late edition. And of course, on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30, we have an expanded show for you. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.
My name is Femi Adebayo. This holiday season, StarTimes is taking us to a better level. You can step up your family entertainment with the StarTimes upgrade promo. You recharge 2 months on Nova Bouquet and get upgraded to Basic or Smart Bouquet. Recharge 2 months on Basic or Smart Bouquet, you get upgraded to Classic or Super Bouquet. And if you recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet, you get 10 days free on your subscription. This upgrade automatically qualifies you for a weekly draw to win 55-inch smart TV, PS systems, home appliances, and more. These prizes are proudly sponsored by Long Reach, Wayon, and Amaz. This promo is from the 15th November to 15th January 2023. Times and conditions apply. On StarTimes, every day is the best day ever. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. StarTimes. Entertain your family.
When you think of a university, you think of a place where you will go to cut out your future. And when you get there, you realize there's a lot more to it. The beautiful structures, facilities, and ambience. A place where you meet great minds, experience different cultures, and master the art of fundamental problem solving. Be part of a whole different study experience with Kampala International University, KIU, exploring the heights.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Struggling with energetic kids and you can't get them to get to sleep? Tried so many things to get them to snooze, but nothing seems to work. ShopX TV is proud to introduce an amazing gift for the kids. Introducing Happy Nappers.
They are happy, happy nappers. They love to sleep and play with you.
The perfect play pillows that pull open to a sleepy sack surprise. Who are the happiest nappers of all? That keep your kids warm and wrapped safely in their favorite play characters, day or night. With a simple pull and zip, your child can snuggle up and nap inside of it. Imagine children that actually want to take a nap. They are your go-anywhere friends. They play with you all day, and when it's time to sleep, you just pull on their feet. Sleepy time, playtime, anytime is happy napper time. And when the napping is done, they fold back in for even more fun. Ordinary play pillows or blankets are not as much fun, and they don't hold the heat in, unlike happy nappers. And the sleep sacks are completely enclosed to keep your child warm and cozy during nap time or even through the night.
Toluwani absolutely loves her Happy Napper kitty cat. It's pink, girly, and fluffy. Everything that she loves. Well, I love it because it's a 2-in-1. She can play with it all day, and when she's tired, she can take a nap in it.
Sultana loves his Happy Napper's Grey Shark. He loves playing with it and has real adventures with the shark. It's been really hard for him to sleep recently, but thanks to his Happy Napper Shark, he finds it so easy to sleep all through the night. And to be honest, it's simply easier for me too as well.
Happy Nappers is now available in Nigeria exclusively from Shopex TV. You can choose from Pink Cat, Grey Shark, White Unicorn, and even a Pink Unicorn. Don't forget, Happy Nappers comes with the Shopex TV's 30-day money-back guarantee. Happy Nappers are a great gift for any child and come in medium and large sizes. Why not put some fun into your child's Christmas and get the Shopex Medium Happy Napper for 49,950 Naira and the large Happy Napper for 69,950 Naira only. Call the number on your screen now or visit our website at www.shopextv.com to order yours now. And that's not all. If you order now, we will deliver to your door with no delivery charge. But hurry, limited stock available, so call now while stock lasts.
The preceding was a paid presentation by Shopex TV.
Hello and thank you for joining us on TVC News this hour. We begin in the nation's capital, where the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, has asked the National Assembly to pass a resolution classifying INEC's buildings nationwide as high security and priority facilities. At an investigative hearing into the incessant attacks on INEC's facilities, the legislators were also shocked to learn that the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation has yet to prosecute any suspect for the 50 attacks that have occurred since 2019. Correspondent